Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you, dear students. We are learning class 9 science biology. In that, we are learning chapter 14 natural resources. We had almost completed three parts of this chapter, and we had learned about the different natural resources, that is soil and water. We had almost air and water we had almost completed, and now we are learning about the soil. In our previous video, we had seen the factors which are responsible for the soil formation. That which are the factors responsible for soil formation that we had seen in our previous video. Now today, further moving with the soil, again I am here. So today we are talking about the soil only, that which are the minerals present in the soil, what is the significance of soil in our life? That we will see today. So let's begin with it. So dear students, as we know that soil is a mixture, right? Dear students, soil is a mixture. What kind of mixture a soil is? Actually, a soil is a mixture which contains small particles of rock. As we know that soil forms from the rock. So, it contains small particles of rock. It also contains bits of decayed living organisms, which is called as humus. Dear students, the first soil is formed from the rock, that we all know. Yes. After, there are different layers of the soil. Might be you have learned in social sciences also layers of the soil, right? So the soil is a mixture of small particles. Which kind of small particles, dear students? Small particles like sand, silt, and many different small particles of the parent rock. Also, it is a layer with organic mixed with minerals. Different kind of minerals are present in the soil. And the first is topsoil, which is organic matter, and it is also called as humus. We will talk about humus in detail further. Now, so these are the different layers of the soil. So that is why it is called as the soil is a mixture. Here we have talked about the minerals. So which kind of minerals are there? So minerals, it is a very important substances found in soil. Minerals basically formed by the breakdown of large rocks. Some of the most common minerals found in soil are the iron, potassium, magnesium, calcium, sulfur, etc. So these are the minerals, dear students, which are found in the soil, and they are important for the plants to grow. So getting, dear students, that soil is a mixture of the organic matter, that so many different microscopic organisms are present into the soil, which are the bacteria. Might be one of the bacteria you know, dear student, that is rhizobium, which helps the plant to get that atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble form. So as we know that soil is a mixture, and it is a mixture of different kind of small particles, organic matter, which is also called as the humus. So let's take a detailed look of the humus. Okay, dear students. Actually, the type of soil is decided by the average size of particles found in it, and the quality of the soil is decided by the amount of humus and the microscopic organisms found in it. So, humus is a major factor in deciding the soil structure. Humus is a major factor which decides the soil structure because it causes the soil to become more porous and allows water and air to penetrate deep underground. So it is very necessary that water and air should be penetrated into deep. Why? Because roots of a particular plant get easily can easily get water also and can get air also. So this is the very important thing, that is humus is a very major factor in a student. Also, the minerals, nutrients that are found in a particular soil depends on the rock it was formed from. The nutrient content of a soil, the amount of humus present in it, and depth of the soil are some of the factors that decide which plants will thrive on that soil. Which kind of plants will grow on particular soil is decided by the mineral nutrients which are present into that soil and the amount of humus. Getting, dear student, that which kind of plants, किस तरीके के plants कौन सी soil के ऊपर grow होंगे, वो कौन decide करता है? It is decided by the mineral nutrients which are present in particular soil, and it is also decided by the amount of humus which is present into that soil. So getting, dear students, that humus is a really a very important factor. Now what is humus actually? Humus is the organic substances that are formed due to decomposition of dead and decomposing plants and animals. It is actually the decomposition of the dead parts of the plants also and animals also which present into the soil. And what is the main function of the humus? That it provides fertility to the soil. It provides fertility to the soil. Which kind of living organisms that are present into the soil? So mostly they are microbes. Microbes like bacteria, and other organisms are also like worms, bacteria that we have already known, fungi, etc. that live in the soil and perform the decomposition of animals and plants that gives the soil humus. So I hope the idea of humus is clear to you, dear student, that what is humus and why it is very important to the soil. So here might be the question comes into your mind that what is topsoil? What what we are talking about of the topsoil? So first, let's clear the idea with the topsoil, that is topmost layer of the soil which contains humus and living organisms. It is called as topsoil. What is topsoil, dear students? That is the topmost layer of the soil, which contains humus and living organisms. That topmost layer of the soil is called topsoil. The quality of the topsoil is an important factor that decides biodiversity in that area. Might be, dear students, you are clear with the word biodiversity. Bio means living and diversity means variety. So the quality of topsoil, getting, dear student, the quality of topsoil decides biodiversity in that area. It means that if the topsoil is fertile, if the topsoil is very much rich into the humus and living organisms, the number of plants, variety of plants can be grown into that part on that particular soil. So, who will decide biodiversity of particular area? That is topsoil. And might be you are clear with the topsoil also, that what is the topsoil? That is the outermost or the topmost layer of the soil which called as the topsoil. Okay, so this is all about the soil we had seen now, dear students. So, as we had seen the air pollution, also we had seen the water pollution. Same, my dear students, you have heard about the soil pollution. So now let's move with the soil pollution. What is soil pollution, dear students? So first we will talk about the causes of the soil pollution, and then we will go to the definition of soil pollution. So what causes soil pollution first? Modern farming practices. which involves the use of large amount of fertilizers and pesticides. Yes, dear students, our modern farming techniques uses large amount of fertilizers and pesticides. Use of these substances over long periods of time can destroy the soil structure can destroy the soil structure by killing the soil microorganisms that recycle nutrients in the soil. Getting, dear students, if we use such kind of fertilizers and pesticides over long period of time, it destroy our soil structure. How it destroy our soil structure? By killing the microorganisms. It also kills the earthworms. My dear students, earthworms, you have learned about the reason that earthworms are called as a true friends of the farmers. Why? Because earthworms loosens the soil. It allows air and water to penetrate into the soil. So uses of this fertilizers and pesticides also kills the earthworms. What is the function of the earthworm? That earthworm are instrumental in making the rich humus. Also, by using such kind of fertilizers and pesticides, the fertile soil can quickly be turned barren. And if sustainable practices are not followed. So might be you get clear with the definition of the soil pollution, that removal of useful components from the soil and addition of other substances which adversely affect the fertility of the soil and kill the diversity of organisms that live in it is called soil pollution. I hope you are clear with the soil pollution now, dear students, that removal of useful components from the soil. What is which are the useful components we are removing? That by using such kind of fertilizers and pesticides, we are removing the minerals which are present into the soil. Also, we are removing such kind of living organisms which are present into the soil, which adversely affect the fertility of the soil, and it is called as soil pollution. It is called as soil pollution. I hope you are clear with the soil pollution now, dear students. Also, there might be one of the very adverse effect we can say, or we can say one of the cause of soil pollution, that is soil erosion. So now let's talk about soil erosion. So first of all, what is soil erosion? Soil erosion is a natural process in which the topsoil of a field is carried away by physical sources such as wind and water. Getting, dear student, what is soil erosion? It is a natural process in which the topsoil is removed by what? The topsoil is removed by physical sources such as wind and water. Yes, dear students. Now, all we know that the soil which is present now, we can see it is formed from a very long period of time. So, the fine particles of soil may be carried away by flowing water or wind. If all the soil gets washed away and the rocks underneath are exposed, we have lost a very valuable resource because very little plants are there which can able to grow on the rocks. Otherwise, most of the vegetation is grow on the topsoil only. So it is very necessary to stop this soil erosion. One activity is given into your textbook, dear students, that you have to take two identical trays. You have to tilt that two identical trays at a particular angle, and you on one tray you have to grow some of the vegetation, and another tray only you have to fill it with the topsoil, and you have to pour same amount of water on both the trays. After pouring the water, you can clearly get, dear students, that the tray which have the plant grown on it, only the water will come out, Whereas the tray which has only the topsoil present, soil is also washed out, dear students. Getting? So this is the reason that why plants are necessary. Actually, the roots of the plants tightly packed with the soil and does not allow the soil to wash away. So this is the image which is given into your textbook, that is effect of flowing water on the topsoil. So removal of topsoil is called as soil erosion. Now, how can we prevent soil erosion? So there are different ways that we can prevent soil erosion. The first, we can say that we have to avoid the topsoil being washed away. We should plant more trees. Now only we have seen the activity that if the plants are there on the soil, the roots of the plant does not allow the soil to wash away. So by growing more number of trees, we can prevent soil erosion. The next is reduce deforestation and commercial exploitation of forests. Deforestation, that is cutting down a large number of trees from the forest. And by using commercial, we are also cut down the trees of the forest. So this process should be reduced. And replace chemical fertilizers in farming with natural manure. If we will use natural manure instead of chemical fertilizers, it helps to maintain the minerals in our soil. Also, it helps to maintain the living organisms in our soil. So, dear student, hopefully this lesson, we can say this topic of the soil, has helped you understand the significance of soil in our atmosphere and the importance of minerals in the soil. So, by following these practices, let us ensure that these minerals stay in the soil and we greatly reduce the erosion and pollution of the soil.